Democracy is the most destructive thing in the continent of Africa. Democracy is the most destructive thing in the continent. The most destructive thing that came to the motherland is democracy. These are not my words. I'm going to roll in the discussion because I've been talking about democracy here for a long time. It's unfortunate that we have some dignitaries of the African people, like, people who some Africans hold them in high esteem in different countries in the continent, who shockingly comes out and tell you that the Sahel is wrong for what they're doing. The freedom fighters in the Sahel are wrong to have taken power, and they'll tell you that as far as they did not take power democratically, that there is no way that their leadership is valid. They'll tell you that Ibrahim Traore should step down, General Assimi Goïta should step down, General Abdurrahmani Tiani should step down, even though they are doing well for their people love them, that they are not going to acknowledge their leadership because it is not a democratic leadership. Yes, this is coming from I said respected people. And it's not shocking to me. It's not shocking to me. Most of these people have been seen, pictures of theirs have been dug out by, I trust Africans, I trust them. Pictures of theirs have been dug out, and it's discovered that these people had one on one with Macron. They've had one on one with the Secretary of State of the American people. They have had one on one with the enemy. So there is no way you have one on one with people like this that your thoughts and opinion will not be altered. Okay? So it's like these are also puppets who are working for their puppeteers. It's unfortunate, Your Majesties, but this is the kind of world that we live in, that we are happy to talk down on our own and elevate the other, not minding whether that is going to be for our destruction or for our success, Your Majesties.
It's why democracy is the most destructive thing that have ever come to Africa. We have to take a different approach. If a man like Ibrahim Traore is taking a lead, Assimi Goïta is taking a lead, and they are opposing when they are seeing 15 million people in Mali went on the street to defend one man, Assimi Goïta, and they are asking the Malians to go back to a ballot box. And when democracy, they have made us to believe that democracy is looking for the majority. 15 million people out of a population of 18 million are on the street saying we want Assimi Goïta, and you are telling them to go back to the ballot box through democracy. Something is wrong here, Mr. Communal. We do not need the Association of the United Nations. Okay. We do not need the veto power. We need unity. The dying problem of Africa right now is our unity. Yes. We have been believed and told and taught by the West that power is hereditary, is not elected. Our leaders, before they are elected, they are selected, not by the masses of their people, else the African people will not be agitating and will not be offended by the system of leadership in Africa and will not protest, and sometimes we see coups in different African countries to tell you that the African majority are displeased with what they are seeing in the name of leaders. These leaders are people that the majority did not vote them. They are all elected, appointed from minority groups. I've given very good practical examples. These are the agendas of the Berlin Conference, that when a call is made, is prior to the Berlin Conference, that Africa is not owned by Africans. It's owned by the West that have shared Africa among themselves and put in a system by which the Africans, if they are going to manage themselves, must use, and which is a system brought in by the Europeans, which is, for example, take example like a country of Cameroon. We have over 300 to 400 political parties. Indirectly, you have given power to the ruling party. Why? Because we stand in different, what they call Balkanization. The people are not speaking with one voice. They are not in one box. They have been splitted in small groups. And it is in this form that we want to be looking for leaders who, at the end of the day, will keep their party politics, will keep their party ethics, and will protect the interests of the one who has brought them their democracy for their own advantage at the detriment of the masses. So an individual will not lead a minority group and go to the World Bank and take money to indent a whole nation. We are not that stupid, Mr. Communal. We should hold them responsible to pay that money.
Yeah, but this money were used to construct roads and...
Mr. Communal, you cannot give loans to minority groups. This is not democracy. This is a violation of human rights because
But they
the
are the
rights of
leaders.
the people.
But
No.
they are the leaders.
Who put them there, Mr. Kumleonat? These are not the masses. And this, we talk about
You can't-
we talk about the human rights organization at
cannot-
the
you
level
cannot-
of the
you
United
cannot- you
Nations.
cannot-
They are unable to protect the rights of the African people. We have organizations that are all accomplices to the exploitation of African people. We cannot go by this definition and logic of these are our leaders. Who put them there? And why are we agitating that they should leave and they are not still living? Because you cannot expect a poor people who cannot even feed themselves, cannot even defend themselves. And these are the people you are calling out to go and vote, knowing that those who have the yam and have everything can control the will and the destination of these people. This is where they have left us. That we should practice democracy at the time they brought in America. They have built an empire, built a legacy, built an economy. We are underdeveloped. We are living in poverty. And you bring us the same democracy is to kill the African people. And the approach we need to take, Mr. Kumleonat, is that we want our social development, economic development to be based on our human resources through our unity. With the African Americans that are in Africa, we should be able to build alliances, means by which we are able to educate ourselves, come together in order for us to build an Africa for Africans. It's keeping America for Americans. Let us keep Africa for Africans. So they should not by any means, by any system, control Africa or intrude in Africa. That's not democracy. That's an abuse of human rights. So we should be able to define and charter our own course because we have our own founding fathers.
All right, Majesties, that's the information, and there is something that I want us to hold on here, and that is they choose our leaders before they are elected. These are facts that cannot be disputed. He's not talking out of point, he knows what he's saying, and there is a reason why he's having this discussion. There is a reason why he's having this opinion because of the happenings in the continent. Different countries in the continent, it's not just the issue of Cameroon alone. Different countries in the continent of Africa. It is the leader that they want that they put in there. Now, do you think as an African that it is your vote that counted? And you have that leader that's sitting up in that position of presidency in your country today. If you think that it is your vote that counted, then I tell you, you are still so naive and you still don't understand what is happening, how these people are dealing with Africa. It is not your vote that counted. They don't care about whether you want this person there as president or not. That's not their own business. They are in there for business. They are in there to implant someone that will help them steal resources. They are in there to implant someone that will be loyal to them. They don't care about the African people. They don't care whether you eat. They don't care whether you die. They don't care whether you survive. So all those, hypocrisy, those, what do you call them? Those pretense of the West saying that, oh, we want to remain in Africa because we want Africa to survive. They are all doing what they are doing for their pockets and for their survival, not for you. Not for you. Before elections are done, they know who would be the next leader. If they really want a leader to step down, they know that, okay, it's because they are tired of that leader. They'll do everything to bring down that leader and put the one they feel is the best. Why do you think that prior to election, electoral candidates, okay, candidates go to Europe and America, different countries in Europe and America, are candidates, African soon-to-be leaders, prior to election, roam about Europe and America. What do you think they are going about for? Why do you think they have to go to Europe and America? Because those sponsoring them are from those regions. They are from the West. And after their election, in the first years of their election, they still move around these countries. Why do you think they are moving around? They are going to go and close the deal that they had made. They are going to go and receive final, what do you call it? Final order on how to come back and steal their own resources and hand it over to these so-called colonial masters, puppeteers, wicked men and women in the West. This has been the situation of the African people. And that is why sometimes those you hold in high esteem, who are up there politically as you feel that, okay, you can vouch for this one, they will do something and then the next minute you ask yourself, I was thinking this person was better. They have infiltrated democracy. Democracy, I don't know. I don't know why some of us are not seeing, I don't see what we need to see. I don't know why. If with what is happening in the Sahel would still do not open your eyes, then maybe you are in for an eternal blindness, or you are forever blind. I kept saying here that what is going on in the Sahel has exposed the hypocrisy of democracy. Because what democracy tells us is impossible, the Sahel leaders have made possible just within 1-2 years in power. Is it magic? If it is magic, these leaders should go and learn this magic act from Ibrahim Traore, General Simi Goita, General Tiani. They should go and learn this from them. If this magic is going to save Africa from the hands of these wicked people, then our leaders should go and learn this magic from the Sahel leaders. Your Majesties, we can see clearly the evil that is done just to make Africa remain poor for the benefit of Europe and America. For them to survive, keep living this posh life, living, whatever life you call it, they want Africa to remain poor. It is the poverty of Africans that is the growth, the success of Europe and America. The more Africa remains poor and begging, the more Europe and America remains, developed. They keep enjoying themselves, building their heaven on earth, and then keep telling you that you should pray so that one day when you have died, you will now go to heaven. Their heaven is here on earth. Okay? And how did you think they developed that heaven? The heaven that is filled with gold, that the road is made with gold, the mansions are made with gold, the kiniko is made with gold. Where do you think they are getting those gold? They came to here, to Africa. They came to your countries, to your continent. Steal your gold. They go and develop their heaven on earth, tar their road with gold, their mansion with gold, enjoy sweet and soft life. And then they tell you, you have to pray so that when you die, it is after you have died that you will go to your own heaven. But their own heaven, they are beginning to enjoy it here. It is unfortunate that some Africans will still not understand this whole thing. And I just hope that one day our eyes, our ears will be open, our senses will be open to understand the game that the collective West is playing on the continent of Africa. Lovers of democracy. Democracy has been one of the tools that had destroyed Africa and had made African countries, in the state that they are today. It's not anything, it's democracy. Democracy is the tool of these people to keep lording it over us, to keep controlling us, to keep taking advantage of us. If at all we would want to tie ourselves to democracy so much, then let's abolish this democracy that have been existing and create our own democracy. I keep saying it here. Africa have their own rulership system prior to colonization. Prior to the Berlin Conference, where Africa was divided into shards, into different categories, she was shared like bread on the table. Africa had her rulership system. Africa had her leadership system. Why not to return back to that leadership system and rulership system? Okay? And help ourselves develop and grow and succeed. We are tying ourselves to so-called democracy. That is a tool that the West is using to impoverish Africa. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.